What's happening, guys? So, match preview of the FA Cup final tomorrow between Manchester City and Manchester United. This is episode 2 of Shameless FC. So, who's going to claim the double? Well, both teams have won a trophy this season. As you can see, Manchester City have won the Premier League. Manchester United have won the League Cup. They're both in shot for a second trophy this season. But me being on Shameless FC, I'm hoping that Manchester City claim this double so it can push them a step closer to emulating Man United's treble that they won in 1999. And should Man City do that, that means Man United fans can shut the fuck up about 1999. Because 1999 will be the thing of the past should Man City clinch this treble. They've already emulated them getting the three-peat. And it's only a matter of time before Man City catch Man United. See, Man United fans are in a huge denial because they think Man United fans think that Man City are not going to catch them in terms of how many league titles have been won. Man United fans think that I don't know if Man United fans keep thinking that every time City win a title, one gets subtracted away. Like Man City are on 9 league titles right now, right? Bare minimum 2034, I think they'll match what Man United have. 2035, should they keep winning the league every season, 2035, they will overtake Man U. Minimum. That's the earliest it could happen. Man United fans think that that they'll stay on top forever. So let's get into the match preview. So, for the first time in the competition's long and storied history, the FA Cup final will double up as a Manchester derby at Wembley Stadium. Premier League champions Manchester City arrive as pre-match favourites as they look to secure a second trophy of the prospective Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League treble, a feat that only opponents, arch rivals Manchester United have achieved in English football history. Well, I said in my last episode that, you know, winning 3 trophies in one season it's not unique to Manchester United because Manchester City have done it and Liverpool done it on 2 occasions. Manchester City are on course to do it for their second time. That's Man United's biggest rivals on course to win. One of them's won 2 trebles already. The other one's on course to win another treble. And the treble will emulate Man United's. You know what I mean? But the winning 3 trophies isn't unique to Man U. All it is specifics for Man U. And again, I'm not trying to downplay the treble that they won, but it's specifics. That's all it is. You know what I mean? Because if it was winning the league, like Liverpool's treble in 1984, it was the League Cup, the European Cup, and the league title. You know what I mean? But that doesn't. Let me find it. That doesn't get sucked off with stroke game. Because it was only the League Cup. That, I mean, that's the respect that the League Cup gets. That if you win it as part of a treble, like they'll just treat it like you just won a good double. That's how they treat it. With Man U, it's specific because the FA Cup and the Champions League, you know, them finals are kind of back to back, basically. You know what I mean? They're later on in the season, whereas the League Cup comes around first, and then whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? But should Man City emulate this treble, then United fans can't say shit anymore. They can say they've done it. They can say, we were first to do it, man. It took this long for it to be emulated. Who cares? Who cares? You know what I mean? You think I'm going to want another club to go invincible? You know what I mean? Because should another club go invincible, which I think Manchester City will be the most likely team to do it, they could do it next season for all I know, right? As soon as that happens, ours is a thing of the past. Now everyone's going to talk about the latest one to do it, and then they're going to compare it to our invincibles. You know what I mean? You see, going invincible is not. The last time it happened was 1888. The last time a club won a treble before Man United won their treble was 1984. So you go from 1984 to 1999 versus 1888 to 2004. You know what I mean? Now you go from 1999 to 2001 when Liverpool won their treble. Then you go from 2001 to 2019. Can you see the gaps now? Should Man City clinch the treble this season, that's a gap of 2019 to 2023. Meanwhile, we're still waiting for another club to go invincible. That's the difference between the uniqueness of those achievements. You know what I mean? But Man U's is specifics. That's what it is. It's a specific treble. It's not that it was a treble. It's a specific treble. That's what it is. You know what I mean? That's why it gets sucked off so much, because it's that specific treble of winning the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Champions League. And it's not been done before, apart from Man U doing it. You know what I mean? So when you talk about specifics, obviously, you know what I mean? Nobody else has done it. You know what I mean? But winning 3 trophies, it's been done. And it's been continued to be done. You know what I mean? Invincibles, you know what I mean? When you see one since 2004, it's happening in another country. It's not happening over here. You know what I mean? While Pep Guardiola's men breezed their way to the first FA Cup final in 4 seasons, firing 17 goals without replying their 5 previous ties this term, the Spaniard has urged his squad to disconnect in the build-up to such a huge clash. They hope they can focus after failing to win their final 2 league clashes of the season, drawn 1 and lost 1. City have a 100% win rate in domestic finals under Guardiola, though they'll certainly be confident of taking another huge step to chase immortality. Man United will love nothing more than to stop their local rivals matching their accomplishments, but besides bragging rights, it would also secure them a second trophy of the season, having already lifted the Carabao Cup. The Red Devils have never secured both domestic cups in the same season, but they travelled to Wembley with momentum behind them after a run of 4 consecutive victories, ensure they finish in the Premier League season top 3 for the 3rd time in 4 seasons. So Man United have never won a domestic double before, in terms of like the League Cup and FA Cup. I mean, you see, it's kind of weird when you think about it, because you look at how, like, when Sir Alex Ferguson was dominating, that 1999 team, that was the first and only time Sir Alex Ferguson has took Man United in 2 cup finals in 1 season. You know what I mean? When you deep it, because I'm nerdy like that. I look at things deeply. You know what I mean? That's the only time Sir Alex Ferguson has took them to 2 cup finals in 1 season. You know what I mean? When he did it, he won them. Well, they haven't won the League Cup and FA Cup double before. You know what I mean? It's surprising, because you would have thought Sir Alex Ferguson would have done that at some point. You know what I mean? Because like even Arsenal won that kind of double. Last time we won a League Cup, it was part of that double. You know what I mean? And I really want us to win the League Cup again. So I hope that next season, Arsenal, go for it. Manager Ten Hag stoked the fire with an impassioned post-match speech after beating Fulham 2-1 Premier League final day. But the Dutchman insists the final is not about stopping Man City, it's about winning the FA Cup. Only Arsenal, 14, have done so more often than United, 12. But one of those successes arrived in the last 19 years, so United's Dutch boss will be keen to reignite the club's love affair with this famous competition. Now, one thing I want to point out about Man United, right, when it comes to the FA Cup, is since 1996, when they beat Liverpool in the FA Cup final and clinched the double, right, they've only beaten teams that they are expected to beat and are huge favourites to win in the FA Cup finals since then. Since they beat Liverpool in 1996 in the FA Cup final, they then beat Newcastle in 1999. They beat Millwall in 2004. They beat Crystal Palace in 2016. You know what I mean? That's teams that, on paper, Man United are going to win that. Now, the FA Cup finals they've lost since 1996. They lost to Arsenal in 2005. They lost to Chelsea in 2007. And lost to Chelsea in 2018. So what we see here is that when Man U are up against a team that's a threat in FA Cup, in finals, they tend not to win in recent times. For all we know, this might be the final that they win. Hopefully not. You know what I mean? But put Man U against bums in finals, they win them. Like when's the last time Man U lost a cup final? It was shocking. You know what I mean? We haven't seen it, have we? I mean, you won't see Man U lose a cup final to like Stoke or someone. Like, you won't see it. If they're in the final against a team that they should beat, they'll beat them. That's the thing about Man U. But when they're up against it, when they're really up against it, put them in a cup final with Arsenal or someone, fam, it's a different story. You know what I mean? They ain't the same Man U. You know what I mean? They don't have Old Trafford to save them. But I'm looking forward to this final tomorrow. And I don't want Shameless FC to come to an end, because should Man U win the FA Cup final tomorrow, right, Shameless FC comes to an end. You know what I mean? Shameless FC comes to an end. Because then it won't matter if Man City win the Champions League or not, because they ain't going to get that treble. Now, score prediction. In fact, let me go on to the head-to-heads first. So the last 5 games, Man City have won 3, drawn 1, lost 1. Man United have won 4, lost 1. And the head-to-heads, Man U beat them this season at Old Trafford, 2-1. Before that, Man City beat them 6-3. Last season, Man City beat them 4-1 at the Etihad and beat them 2-0 at Old Trafford. Before that, in the 2021 season, Man United beat them 2-0 at the Etihad. And that was a cup game, wasn't it? No, it was a Premier League. That was when Ollie was there, I think. They beat 2-0 at Etihad. Man City beat them 2-0 at Old Trafford. Played 3 times. Oh, whoa, they played 4 times in 2020. Oh, League Cup semi-final, that's why. Yeah, they played in semi-final, League Cup in 2020. So they played 4 times in 2020. With Man City winning 3-1, and Man United winning 1-0, and then Man United winning 2-0, and then drawing 0-0. So in recent times, Man United, they haven't necessarily been a slouch. Since 2016, Man United beat Man City at Etihad. Man City beat them at Old Trafford. Man United beat Man City at Old Trafford in late 2016. I'm assuming that is. Then they drew 0-0 at Etihad. And so Man U have been winning at Old Trafford. Let me just go back to the head-to-head matches. So I've got at Old Trafford 1, 2, 3, 4 wins at Old Trafford for Man United, going back to 2016. I've gone back as far as 2016 now. I won't go as far back. I can go back as far as 2004. But since 2016, at the Etihad, Man United have won 1, 2, 3, 4, Five times in all. That's in all competitions. Now, Man City since 2016 at Old Trafford, they've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times in all competitions at Old Trafford. And at the Etihad since 2016, Man City have won. But yeah, Man City didn't win for a while, did they? Since 2016. It's not even Pep's first season they won at home. So since 2016, Man City have won at the Etihad against Man U. 1, 2, 3 times. Bloody hell. It's kind of wild, that. But it's FA Cup final tomorrow. So, Shameless FC, come on, City. You know what I mean? You get that double, right? Get that double. You know what I mean? Clinch that double. Because after that, you've got some juju to overcome. Because Yaya Toure chatting about this African voodoo that's on Pep to never win the Champions League again, fam. You got that to overcome, because Inter Milan, although I don't believe that they'll be good enough to beat Man City, you just never know. You know what I mean? You just never know. But clinch this first. Clinch that. Because once you clinch this, right? Fam, Man United fans will be scared. They're going to be like Team Inter Milan. Trust me. They're going to be petrified to know you might win that treble and you might emulate their shit. I personally, if I'm going to be real now, I don't think Man City are going to do it. I don't think they'll clinch the treble. You know what I mean? I think, if anything, it's going to be the Champions League final that's going to, where they'll fall short. And what's kind of worrying about Man City is how they took the foot off the gas once they clinched the league title and started behaving like a mid-table club that's got to a cup final for the first time in ages. You know what I mean? They didn't keep up that momentum, so they're putting everything into these two finals. And this is what pisses me off about Arsenal, because if we could have done with keeping the pressure on Man City, you know what I mean? It would have been so much for Man City to think about. But we just allowed them to relax. So with that, go get that treble then. Anyways, Shameless FC episode 2. Tomorrow, FA Cup final. I'll do a match reaction regardless of who wins. And the match reaction, if it's Man U that won, then it'll have to be that's the last episode. If not, we still go on, fam. Get there. Anyways, like the video, share the video, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.